So, welcome to this class, and we'll be looking at two very important concepts as far as working with Excel is concerned. Cell referencing. So the two types of cell references are the relative and the absolute cell referencing. So relative and absolute cell referencing behaves differently when copied and filled to other cells. Okay, so relative referencing changes when the formula is copied to another cell. All right, so we are going to be looking at examples just to illustrate our point. Then absolute references, on the other hand, remains constant no matter where the formulas are copied. Most of our work so far has been with relative cell referencing, which actually happens by default. So when the formulas are copied across multiple cells, they change based on the relative position of rows and columns. Now this is what we have, our worksheet, and in our worksheet we have relative cell referencing and we have absolute cell referencing. The relative cell referencing you are actually very familiar with, okay? It's the simple way you normally add up your formula, starting with equal to. You select your cell A5, then since it's add, I insert my addition and I hit what? Cell B5 and I hit enter. Okay, so because it's relative cell referencing, I can easily drag this down, alright, and it replicates. Notice that the first guy says what? Equal to A5 plus B5. The second one, since it is copied down the group column, it will be A6 plus B6. Okay, so you don't need to actually enter the formula one at a time in each cell, okay, because you can easily drag down since it's relative cell referencing. Alright, so for the second one, I can now say equals A5 minus B5. Okay, so you do the work once and you replicate your success. That sounds more like a motivation. Alright, but that is what it is here in Microsoft Excel. So it's very simple, right? Very simple. Okay, so relative cell referencing, that is that about that. So let us go quickly to absolute cell referencing. So for absolute cell referencing, you usually make use of it supposing you have a particular constant that you need to work with. Alright, so instead of always going back to that constant and performing your calculation, you can reference it absolutely. Okay, the shortcut key to implement this is hitting your F4. Okay, absolute cell referencing actually comes with the $sign. If you can see on my screen here, I have cell A1 absolutely referenced. So I have $A$1. So that is complete absolute referencing. So if I have $A1, that means the column does not change when copied. And if I have A$1, that means the row does not change when copied. There was the multiplication table I gave you in tax 1. Alright, so you actually make use of absolute cell referencing to complete your tax very fast. Alright, but I noticed that many of us had to do it one at a time. So you use absolute cell referencing in cases like that to make your work very fast. So looking at this example, we have the name, we have their pay before tax, we have the tax amount, and we have the take home. The tax rate is actually 5%. So Mr. Yusuf receiving that. So what is the tax amount? So I'll just quickly multiply that. So equal to 60 multiplied by 5%. So it does the calculation for me. Now notice that the formula is actually M7 multiplied by M4. So I now drag down. Notice that what it gives me. Okay, because it will be dumb enough, alright, to now think that the next formula will be M8 times M5 because it's actually coming down. The next guy after M4 is M5. Okay, So, and the next guy, it's as if you are multiplying it 85 by this text, which gives you value error. Alright, so you don't do that. Okay, so what we'll do is equal to our cell M7 multiplied by, right, let's do it manually now, dollar sign is M4, okay, dollar sign M, dollar sign 4. What this does is it's actually fix or makes constant that 5%, so that if we even have 1,000 record of a table of data like this, we can easily drag down and it fills it up for us without any issue. It's alright. So this is just 3 records. So supposing you have 10,000 of this and you want to be doing it one after the other, that can be very dangerous. So the take home will simply be equal to just this minus this. So you just use relative referencing to calculate the value of the take home. So I can just drag down. Is that okay? So most times you'll be wondering how to drag down. There's a drag down ribbon. You notice your cursor changes. Alright, so this little plus sign. So you drag it down at the bottom left corner. So with this said, we now go ahead to look at our multiplication table. It's that same table I gave you as tax. So you notice that for us to make use of our multiplication table, explaining this, I have the column and the row do not change when copied. I have $A2, the row does not change when copied. $A2, the column does not change when copied. Now this table tells us that what? 5 times 4 will give you 20. This 5 times 5 will give you 25. The row does not change when copied down. Okay, that means it's $2 multiplied by $A3. Okay, so the row does not change, it's only the column that does what? Changes. Okay, that's why I have $2 multiplied by $A3. So I can easily and comfortably copy this down. Okay, and it gives me my answer correct. All right, so following the same pattern, I can quickly go ahead to now put in my second formula to get 7 times 4. So the next one will go like this, equal to C $2, okay, which is 7, multiplied by $A3. Okay, so multiplied by $A3, which is 7 times 4. So I hit enter, okay, which is 28. So with this I can now comfortably drag it down and it gives me my answer. Now another easier way to do this is, since I know that for the first instance the row does not change when copied, and for the second part of the formula the column does not change, I can easily drag this here, then replicate. I can select this first cell, drag here, so replicate. So as you work with Excel, you learn how to work smartly, and by working smart, it makes your work more easier and more efficient. So this is that about absolute cell referencing. So where you have the row does not change when copied is partial absolute cell reference, more priority to either row or column depending on where the dollar sign is. Alright, having looked at this, so now go back to this particular tax. Is actually something from a caterer. She has actually prepared her invoice for the different goods and will be sending it out to a client. The different worksheets have been prepared. So you have the first one. So you actually be doing all the tax here, but I'll quickly go through it. So you have catering invoice, Sweet Delicious and more. That's the name of the business. I have their little logo here. We have the invoice number and the date. So you have menu order, food and beverage, then you have all these other details. So where your work starts is here, where you have sales and sales tax. So the first tax you'll be performing here is this one. Okay, so here you just quickly input your formula, this times this, then you replicate your values down. There's a formula to already calculate the total for you, so you don't need to worry about that. So after you are done with this, so you just use relative self-referencing for this. So you go ahead to do this particular one. So to get the sales, you just unit price times quantity, you get the sales. Okay, you replicate down using relative self-referencing. So when you come here, sales tax, that is when you now use absolute self-referencing. So your sales tax will now be your sales multiplied by the tax rate. Okay, so since your tax rate is constant for each of the sales, you can now make it absolute self-referencing by including the dollar sign. Okay, that is complete absolute self-referencing, not partial. Okay, so you now replicate down. So as you are replicating down, your line total values will be changing because there's already a formula here to calculate that. Okay, so I didn't need to bug you with that, so I've actually done that because when it gets longer, some people might get confused. Okay, so eventually your overall total will change. So also you will do the same thing here. Okay, so that is the guide to performing this tax for today. So if you have any question, you can actually send us a message. You can like our video because this video is already on YouTube, and you can comment and share to as many that will want to understand and learn Excel easily. Thank you very much.